So this one's gonna be about tidying up things and cleaning up things and organizing things, your room, clothes, books, papers, well, all these things. So stay tuned after the intro. Well, yeah. And with that being said, hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast. And I'm pretty fucking pumped to be here as fucking always. And it just, I always remember that I should maybe actually record an episode where I'm not swearing. I think I'm going to talk about this for the next, 10 weeks. But I maybe should really, But yeah, anyway, today's episode is going to be about the same article we went through yesterday as well. Well, actually summary, because it is a book summary from the alanjang.com website. And it is an amazingly good one, I assume, because they're always good. The only thing that I've just recognized yesterday was that they, actually force you to pay for them now, which actually is like, okay, this website has been just so incredibly good. And, well, this just fucks a little bit with the whole experience there. And it fucks a little bit with it, with the whole thing, which is a little bit sad. But, I can understand him because it's just a lot of fucking work to do it, to just go through the books, summarize everything, and then as well just provide it for other people totally for free. I really understand, okay, he also has to live off of something. So well, yeah, actually yesterday we went through clothing and how to kind of manage clothing or organize clothing and all these things. And today I think it is actually about books, which is quite a funny coincidence. Yeah, I thought so. Video, no, the wrong one. Window. So here it is. It's a little bit big today. But now everything is fine. Everything is fine as it is used to be. I do just have to see what the audio is like. I'm just going to be silent for a second. Yeah, because I've totally noticed with the whole new setup that I'm having right now, which actually is today, it is a mixture of clothing here, just in front of my microphone, so that it just somehow absorbs some noise coming from my PC. Then there is a blanket actually here, this thing, yeah, it's a blanket. And then there's actually also, a blanket or something. Actually, it's a towel. It is a towel. But yeah, it works, it is not as the most convenient thing for me, but it really works, What is this? It really works, and it also helps me with actually keeping my microphone in place and everything. So in the end, I've really come up with quite a great idea here. Inspired by Mambo Jumbo, by the way. Who is having just an amazing time. I don't know if you know him, but he's basically a Minecraft YouTuber. His videos just are phenomenal. They're just amazingly good. He edits them just pretty well. They're just really great, informative, well produced, and whatsoever. They're just good. They are just good. And he just gained, I think, 500,000 new subscribers this month and 100 million video views. And he's uploading quite, every single day one video or something. And it just totally is amazing for him. Like, it really is fucking amazing. It just blows my mind, some sort of. But yeah. We finished with clothing yesterday, and therefore we're going ahead with books, as you can see right here on the screen. I do not know how it is actually possible that the microphone is even somehow just getting some noise off of my PC or from my PC. Well, but it is what it is. The only problem that I'm having, I would like to have a mouse. The problem there is I only have two USB ports, because then it would be just amazing. I could cover up my whole fucking microphone and then just have a mouse over here, which, lets me be able to control everything. Would be pretty nice actually. Maybe we can figure out something. But yeah, let's move ahead with books. And I'm still, or straight, going ahead with the reading part. So take all your books off their shelf, or off, well, it's off with a double F. So off their shelves and out of any piles they are already in. If you have a lot of books, you can break them down into these categories. General books you read for pleasure, practical books you use for reference, visual books like photography or art books, and magazines. Don't read any books as you saw through them to discard. This will cloud your judgment. It totally will, because you kind of feel like, okay, it is a great book. I don't want to throw it away. I just want to keep it and things like that. Because, okay, this certain word just actually let me keep it, even though like it's complete bullshit. Yeah. Many people have difficulty in this category, specifically with books they still intend to read and books they think they will reread again. Keep only your half of fame books. Keep only your haul of fame books. Well, I quite, with books, I guess, with clothing, I do just get it. Okay, just discard the things you're not gonna wear. But I guess with books, it's somehow, at least for me, it is something different. I do not have many books. I haven't read so many books in my life, besides the whole summaries that I went through. Then, if you count them as well, then they're probably just a lot, I guess. The thing is, well, I don't know. Books are just knowledge. Books are just totally for pleasure. Books are just great, at my point of view. And you wouldn't just throw away your ebooks either, besides the whole fact, okay, they do not take up any space, which is, one of the good things about ebooks at my point of view. But still, like, well, yeah, they are just there, and just let them be there. And I guess, throwing away books, at least sell them. As I've been speaking about it yesterday as well, I would just sell anything without actually kind of mentioning in my fucking mind to discard things, or to just throw them away. I don't know, like, I kind of feel like, well, you can make a few bucks off of these things, so why wouldn't you? So if you haven't read it yet, and you didn't just buy it, you're probably not going to read it, so you should discard it. If once it's gone, you forget about it, and then you were right to discard. If you find yourself still wanting to read it, go buy another copy and actually read it this time. Well, I don't know, especially with books that you haven't even read, I don't know, is discard actually what I think it is? Is it, dispose of, throw away? Yeah, it actually is what I thought it is. Well, I don't know, like, even if you haven't even read it, which means that there's just no kind of marks in there, or there's no dirt in there, you can totally fucking sell it, it's just pretty much is new. So yeah, why wouldn't you sell it? There are very few books we actually reread, and this is where the Hall of Fame idea is helpful. If it goes into your Hall of Fame and sparks joy every time you read it, keep it. If you liked it but would probably never read it again, discard it. The thing is, if you do just have a really big library in your home, because some people have, some people actually have a dedicated room as a library because they like books, they've always liked books and whatsoever. Sorting them out, I guess, and actually kind of leaving then half of your library just empty is fucked up. It really is. I would just still let them be there just because it looks great. Just because it is great to have, so many books in your library. Even though, on the other hand, if it is really like, okay, they just take up way too much space and you're not able to buy other books because you do not have any space, of course, then you're for sure gonna do it just by yourself. You're not gonna kind of read an article or a book on this whole topic, but you would just still, go through the books, throw it away, or just sell them, and then you're gonna buy the new ones. Because there's so many people that actually kind of, obsessed with books. For example, Seth Godin. Well, he reads 1,000 fucking books a year. But I do just have to say that he does not always read the whole book. He just reads it until he gets the plot and until he gets the story and the whole kind of structure of this book, which also makes sense, I think. Because if you just know, okay, this book's gonna end like this, or this book just says this and that and whatsoever, then of course, why would you read the whole one? You're able to save so much time by only going through those things that actually matter, I guess. That really actually matter. So yeah. I'm gonna take a sip. I'm sorry. And today I'm not actually gonna record 2 fucking episodes in a row, because this fucks my throat just heavily, actually. It really does. Even though it is so much fun, even though it is just so great sitting here, knowing, especially, when the setup is great, and knowing that the quality is going to be just pretty well, especially also with the camera there, not so big, the quality just also seems to be not so bad. And especially I'm not as big as I was, which was also, at my point of view at least, somehow a little bit disturbing and a little bit bad, because well, yeah, I was really big, and having it on a big screen and whatsoever would not have been so great at my point of view, even though, I also do have to say, okay, this might have just only been my thought and how I feel about it and whatsoever, and I should definitely not judge it, because if you judge your own work, most of the time you just, well, you may be too strict, or you just think about things that might not be great, even though nobody fucking cares about them. Or you might think about things that are bad, or you assume they are bad, or you say they are bad, even though they are not, Maybe the consumer just pretty much likes these things that you do not like. And then if you change them up, everything is kind of fucked, You kind of then change the good things into bad things, probably, for the consumer, only because you think, okay, these are bad things, So yeah, let's move on. Papers. Papers is actually the next thing. Is papers like magazines? But I assume not, because, they were talking about magazines before as well. Well, what is papers? Never mind. Let's see what papers is all about. So the general rule is to discard all papers. I wouldn't say so. There are only 3 categories you should keep. The first one is papers you need to deal with. Obviously, maybe. The second one is papers you need for a limited amount of time, such as warranties. And the third one is papers you need indefinitely, such as marriage certificates and insurance policies. Well, it would be great to actually keep them, yeah. So many people keep things like utility bills or credit card statements. These should be looked at upon receipt. Is it receipt? Receipt? I think it's receipt, which is receiving, reception, getting, obtaining, gaining, acceptance, arrival, delivery. To make sure there aren't any issues, but in the need to deal with category, to pay the bills and then discard it. Or actually to pay the bills, because it's just a P and not a B. Well, yeah. So many people also have difficulty discarding lecture notes, since they don't want to lose this information. But we usually put into practice information we have learned that is helpful to us. So if you're not actively using the information in those papers, you probably don't need it, which is actually the case. I think, well, this is also another point why I believe that just doing things actually is pretty great. Not only because I understand that people just like to dream and like to kind of think about the future and like to think like, okay, well, I'm going to just be super amazing in the future. I'm going to do this in the future. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this when I just finish school. Some things like this, even though we all can just do it right now. I could also be like, okay, after school, I'm going to start my YouTube channel. What did I do? I started it quite a year ago, actually. I think on the 18th of August 2018. Could actually be the case, I don't actually know so well. It's the case. People like to dream, people like to ponder around maybe, but we all could just really take action. We all could just do things, which is just also the amazing thing about the internet and whatsoever, and those technical evolution or just technical advantages or advancements we have gotten over the years, or we've got over the years, I guess, I don't know, which is just amazing, because everyone, which is just, I think, I'm not gonna make the same exact example as the last two times. If you wanted to be a photographer, of course you can start. Use your fucking phone. You do not need a camera. Also, another thing that the people just seem to get wrong is, you do not need just the best equipment to start something. You don't need the best camera to be a photographer. You don't need the best fucking microphone to be a YouTuber. This is not the best microphone I have, but I still think the quality is pretty well, especially just because it's a phone. I do believe that it is quite well, to be honest. Especially if you do just make some post editing thing, then I guess quality is just pretty well. But yeah, you don't need the newest stuff. You don't need the best stuff either to start your thing. At my point of view, you should just start with what you're having and then just progress and just buy new things as you need them. Because most of the time, it is really not about the equipment you're using. It is not about the quality that you're having. It is just really about the person that is staring in the video or that is just producing the content. With a really, if you have a high-end computer with just the best graphic cards and the best just processor there is, and you still just suck at editing videos, your videos won't be just as good as someone who is just having a really old, fucking slow PC, but has so incredibly good editing skills because he or she has done it for just 10 years or something. Of course they're gonna be better. Therefore just starting out with what you're having makes sense, at least for me. That's just what I'm thinking. But what did I want to say? Just start your shit. Just start your shit now. You don't need things. You don't need to wait as well. We have opportunities, we have advantages, we have advancements. It is amazing. Nowadays life is just totally amazing. Let's see. And actually, just through doing things, I really believe that we just gain so much knowledge. Through doing things, I've just gained all this knowledge through all these articles that I went through because I did it, because I just created a framework for myself that lets me be able to learn a lot of things, that lets me be able to record something that I can then publish and also provide some information, some general knowledge for other people as well. It is just amazing. It is just good at my point of view. At least, also for me, I assume also for the people, which is great. So have one place or container for each of the three keep categories and don't bother with any further storage. The goal is to discard enough papers that it isn't a hassle to go through everything you have to find what you need. For me, it is really like I keep everything in terms of my school lecture papers and whatsoever because I do not want to throw them away. I do just really not feel good throwing them away. It seems just, pretty kind of fucked up and pretty like, me keeping everything that I'm having. But it also bothers me a bit because I know, one day I'm just probably gonna throw everything away, especially after the next year, because next year I'm gonna write my A levels or set or whatever you're referring to or whatever it is actually called in your country. Looking forward to it. But the next thing is Commono, which is something I do not know, or miscellany, or miscellany, or miscellany. It is probably miscellaneous and kind of miscellany, kind of the adjective of miscellaneous, but I still don't know how to pronounce it. So this category contains CDs, DVDs, skin and bath products, gifts, valuables like passports, credit cards, hobby items, electrical appliances, and cords, household equipment and supplies, kitchen goods and utensils, and small items like knickknacks or knickknacks and spare change. This category encompasses a lot of stuff, but it is also the category that contributes the most to clutter. Actually the case, because I do think that, most of the time we actually just have those small things like, pens and, I don't know, some gifts or some, is it luck givers? I don't fucking know. Sunglasses, what else? Weights that I'm just having, just laying around here, and other stuff. It is just really the case that, We do just have so many things that really are not part of the upper categories that we have just went through. It's just really like miscellaneous and things that are just like crap, most often. But yeah. So don't surround yourself with things that you don't use and don't bring you joy. Well, actually the case, I think I pretty much like the kind of thinking about just keeping things that bring you joy and keeping things that provide you joy, because it makes sense, it really makes sense that you only keep those things that are somehow worth something. And what is more worth than things that give you joy or bring you joy or provide you joy or whatever it actually is. So go in order from personal items to communal items. In brackets, the order above roughly goes in the right sequence. Well, yeah. I guess, and I've guessed actually right, this is quite the end of the summary. Unfortunately, because, as I've said in the intro already, or just in the really kind of first minutes of the video, the alancheng.com website, you do not have to pay for their articles, which is, a little sad, but I'm going to go through just the kind of thing there is, the kind of note there is. And the next thing would have been sentimental items. This category includes any item whose primary value is emotional, like cards, letters, gifts, photos, objects from your childhood or your children's younger years, and things like that. But yeah, I'm going to read this little note. There is the end of preview. Read the rest of the life-changing magic of tidying up summary at my new book summary product, Shortform. I've been working on Shortform for the past months. It's the best. It's the book summary product I always wanted for myself. I was never satisfied with the summaries from what was on the market, and so I built Shortform for myself and readers like you. As a subscription product, it lets me hire writers who write even better than I do and cover 100 times more books than I could do alone. If you like my book summaries, you'll love Shortform. Shortform has the world's best summaries of non-fiction books and articles. Even better, it helps you remember what you read so you can make your life better. What's special about Shortform? And now there are some bullets. The world's highest quality book summaries, comprehensive, concise, and everything you need to know. Interactive exercises that teach you to apply what you've learned, and discussion communities get the best advice from other readers as well. Sound like what you have been looking for? Sign up for a 5-day free trial here. I am actually relatively interested in what it actually is all about, how much it costs and whatsoever. Maybe you are interested in it as well. So yeah, I'm gonna read this. Well, it is actually quite a great site, to be honest. It looks pretty nice. So the world's best book summaries, learn faster and get smarter. Shortform has the world's best summaries of non-fiction books. Learn the key points of a book in 30 minutes or less. Even better, it helps you apply what you learn. I totally hope that the summaries, for all those people that might be interested in this or that are maybe even subscribed to this. By the way, in terms of subscription, subscribe to my first of all YouTube channel, and second of all Instagram account and Facebook and Twitter and everything there is. I'm posting 8 times a day. It might just be worth it for you. It's most of the times I'm just things that I think about in a graphical way because I'm a graphic designer, and therefore this is something that interests me and something that I'm passionate about. So if you just want to see more of these things, as you can see there in the small little slider just down there, all the links should be down in the description. Follow me, hit me up, and thanks. I really hope that those summaries are going to be as long and as detailed and as good as they were just on the alancheng.com website. I still think it's a little bit sad, that it is what it is, because the alancheng.com website now is just, unusable to some degree. But so why are short form summaries the best? We are the most efficient way to learn the most useful ideas from a book. Ever feel a book rambles on, giving anecdotes that aren't useful? Often get frustrated by an author who doesn't get to the point? We cut out the fluff, keeping only the most useful examples and ideas. We also recognize or reorganize books for clarity, putting the most important principles first so you can learn faster. Always comprehensive. Other summaries give you just a highlight of some of the ideas in a book. We find these too vague and to be satisfied. As short form, we want to cover every point worth knowing in a book, learn nuances, key examples, and critical details on how to apply the ideas. 3 different levels of detail. You want different levels of detail at different times. That's why every book is summarized in 3 lengths, which is amazing, and which is something that I've never ever seen before. It's just pretty unique for this one. The first one is the paragraph to get the gist, whatever the gist is. The second one is a 1-page summary to get the main takeaways. Well, it is actually the same structure we have in the alanchang.com summaries as well, or we actually had in those summaries as well. And the third one is the full comprehensive summary and analysis containing every useful point and example. And then there are some screenshots and whatever, and some things. I do believe, that it is just a great one. I hope at least. Well, pricing. This was something that I was interested in. I'm, without actually, I can't. Well, it is actually not that bad. It could be worse, I guess. Our top summaries. Check out these #1 or number 1. #1 number 1 bestsellers you should be learning about. 12 Rules for Life by Jordan B. Peterson. Have been going through this one. Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Have been going through this one. The Power of Now. Have not been going through this one. The Magic of Thinking Big. Have not been going through this one. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Have read it actually. Shoe Dog. Have gone through this one. Blue Ocean Strategy. Have not been gone through this one. So it is $9.50 as an annual plan, or actually per month, which just ends up in $114 each year, with full access to all short form features and content. And there's also a $13.90 per month plan, which gives you... I understand this, because the first one lets you have an annual pay of $114 bucks annually, and which then is $9.50 per month, and the $13.90 per month is actually paid monthly. So I assume that you could just stop the subscription, or just basically stop the subscription every time in the month, which could be great, but it is just a little bit more expensive, which would be, what is the other one? 9.50 times 12, I assume. Yeah. And it is 13.90 times 12. It is 166.8, which is a little bit, just $50 more for actually having the ability to just stop the subscription at every point in time. I think it might be worth it, might really be worth it. I'm now seeing again Encoding Overloaded, but I don't get it. Now it is away as well, or again, not as well. But this is the end of the episode. I do just feel that my throat is just going to, tighten up. Is it tighten up? Yeah, it is tighten up. This is it with the episode. I do hope that you've learned something. I do hope that you've just enjoyed this little summary of this book. I've enjoyed it quite. I found it pretty interesting, something new from... something new just. So I wish you the best health, of happiness and success, and I also hope that you're going to remind yourself on how you're gonna be remembered, which means your legacy, because you totally have it in your control, you totally have it in your hands. Even though, we can't actually serve everyone, we can't make everyone like us, we can't make everyone love us. It is just what it is. But still try to be the best you can, be the nicest and most generous person you can be. Just be good. Because I assume that you're also just willing to be remembered as a good person and not as a bad one. But yeah, with that being said, thank you very much for listening and or for watching. I see you the next time. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, 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 bye. I see you.